Are you ready for the Horror Shed podcast starting now?
Welcome back, everyone, to the Horror Shed podcast. I didn't mess that up. I'm Jared. We're here with South Jersey Jason, Brian. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. Tomorrow's Wednesday, Monday closer to the weekend. How are you doing?
I'm exhausted.
I know you are. You got a busy weekend this weekend.
I know. Busy weekend last weekend, busy weekend
Yeah.
this weekend, and even busier weekend the weekend after. I got 4.
I listened to that. I listened to your latest episode earlier today.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we doing today?
We are reviewing our ratings of the Halloween franchise, all 12 of them. So we don't know what we ranked them. So it's going to be news to not only us, but to the listeners and the viewers.
Yeah.
And this should be interesting.
I figured Halloween Ends comes out. It's either going to be good or a massive piece of shit.
Did you watch the final trailer today?
No.
It wasn't bad. I mean, I didn't like really get intense into watching it because I'm trying to be surprised when it comes out. I have to say I listened more than I watched, and by that token, I'm excited for it.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm nervous as hell, and I'm just waiting to see. We'll see what happens.
Yes.
We will see what happens. All right. Well, we also had the Monsters drop today, too.
Yes, I am going to watch that tonight after we get done recording.
Very cool. Yeah, we record ahead of time, so we know
Yeah.
the Monster's been out. Calm down.
Yeah, and it's hard to make a movie like that for today's generation because we grew up on the reruns.
Yep.
If you think about it, it was what, 20 years. I watched it like 20 years after it was on originally aired. So they don't know the monsters, they don't know how stupid and campy it was. So, I'm hoping Rob Zombie loves the monsters. So I think he artistically did it faith, but as far as the story and everything, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to do a story, like you said, with a movie about a sitcom.
Yeah.
But he's going to catch hate because he's Rob Zombie, and he casted his wife. So he's got a thread.
I love the memes and all the horror movie posters with her face like embedded on whatever.
It was Rob Zombie presents Jaws, and she's the shark.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
But we're here to talk about Halloween.
Yeah, we are. Halloween, the legendary, might as well call it the Halloween cinematic universe at this point.
Yeah, because it's not going to be the end. They'll wait another year or two, and I don't know what they would do. Like, would they go to another universe and go from part 6 and start there? Like, the sky's the limit with what they can do.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to find out.
Yeah.
All right, so who's going first?
I'll let you go first.
All right. My number 12 Halloween movie, meaning I hate this movie the most, was Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie.
Okay. All right. I'm right around where you're at. So let's talk about that. And why did you hate it?
It sucks that I hated it because it had some of the better kills in the franchise, but it didn't make sense.
No.
The white horse, the song playing over and over again.
Nights in white satin.
Yeah, I was done with it. I mean, I understood what he was doing, but it didn't work. He should have just left that out and made Halloween 2.
Because, I think with the opening sequence, he teased us because we thought it was legit going to be at Haddonfield Memorial Hospital,
right?
And it was all a dream. And that nurse she got slaughtered.
Yeah.
And then Buck, I think his name was Buck or Bob or something.
Yeah.
The security guard. And then it just went totally off skew. Laurie's got PTSD, rightfully so. She's not that Laurie Strode. Even like the Laurie Strode in the original or Rob Zombie's first one wasn't like the Jamie Lee Curtis. Like she was kind of, but she just was. I don't. She was just
She was strong, and then they took that away from her, which kind of killed the
yeah.
movie.
And then the ending, man, when she came out with the mask.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Um my Rob Zombie is right near yours, but it wasn't number 12.
Okay.
My number 12 was Halloween Resurrection.
Okay.
Yeah. Um Complete garbage. It came out like 2002, 2003, and it was like kind of like not it was after the found footage fad, but it was right around when MTV had that paranormal
Fear.
show where Fear, okay, where
Yeah.
they mounted the cameras on you, and it that just lost it for me. I hated the mask. I hated Buster Rhymes trying to be Bruce Lee, trick or treat motherfucker. I don't like Tyra Banks. The cast, I hated all the cast. Um, you there were the only cast member I did like in the film was a young Katie Sackhoff.
Okay.
She was the blonde, um, skinny blonde. She made it almost towards the end, but she went on to have a good career. Like she was in Babylon 5 or something like that on sci-fi, but that's not where I watched her. I watched her on a show called Longmire where she played a deputy marshal and she was really good in that.
Huh.
But they left it open for a sequel, which thankfully we never got. And I think it was quantity over quality with this one.
Yep.
Dangertainment kind of reminds me of promoter that I want to, But anyway, that's beside the point. Yeah, crap movie. Just all around, I just did not like it.
I gotcha.
Yeah. All right. So what's your number 11?
My 11. This is a kind of a surprise. It's Halloween Kills.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
I hated this movie
Okay.
because, all right, so they're bringing out Halloween 2018, right?
Yeah.
We're going to kill all backstory except for the original.
Yeah.
And maybe kind of two. I don't know, whatever. So, 4 people got murdered 40 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And they made this whole movie about revenge on Michael Myers about 4 murders. So you made a movie that would have better been played if all the movies counted.
Right.
Because guess what? He killed like 150 people. Yeah, the town's going to get that pissed off. But 4 people 40 years ago and Evil Dies Tonight, did the writers smoke fucking crack before doing this movie?
Yeah, I think I counted. They said Evil Dies Tonight. I think it was like in the 40s.
See, that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. It's not that high on my. It's not like in like where your is, but here are my gripes with it. You have these legacy characters that were underutilized. I wanted to know, how did Tommy and Lindsay meet Nurse Marion? Why are they going to the bar every year? Were they like in a survivors group? Like I want that. Why was Tommy wearing a Bill Cosby sweater? Like the flashback scenes were great. Nurse Marion, like she just ruined everything by shooting at nothing. And they made him like how he was from the original 2 on Supernatural.
Yeah.
Like 2018 was a perfect follow-up to 78. And if they kept it at that, I would have been happy.
Yeah.
But money talks.
It does.
The flashback scenes were my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think about it, it's almost a carbon copy of the original part 2, where Jamie's or not Laurie's in the hospital, but she's not really in the movie. It's like focusing more on Michael and his kills.
Yep.
Kind of like how like the new trilogy of the Star Wars, the whatever the first one was, the new trilogy was like basically a carbon copy of A New Hope.
Yep.
In a way. So, okay, and a lot of people agree with your feelings.
Yeah.
I didn't like Tommy Doyle's like, Lori, 40 years ago, you protected me. Now I'm going to do the same to you. Like,
yeah.
That dialogue was garbage.
I'm not a huge fan of him to begin with.
I like Anthony Michael Hall. I just felt like like you said, the screenwriters were smoking something.
Yeah.
The only interesting storyline, in my opinion, was the cop that could have shot Michael. You
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
I like that, and how for 40 years he's been harboring this awful secret because he could have very well ended it. You
Yeah.
know,
And
and
if you left the core characters to play this role and not get the town involved or the giant clusterfuck in the hospital,
but
it,
the lady with the iron at the end.
I don't know.
And another legacy character that was just horrible was Sheriff Brackett.
Yeah.
Like he went out like a punk.
Uh-huh.
I mean, like he lost his daughter
Yeah.
and like he gets killed like that.
I hear you. Yeah, it just it had some really cool kills. I'll
Yeah.
give it that.
Like, I
But
mean, the opening, the fireman kills were awesome.
my favorite was the long light
Oh,
bulb
the
to the
light bulb.
neck,
Oh,
and
that
then
was
it filled
great.
up with blood. That
She's
was
still
so cool.
gurgling.
Yeah.
Yeah. That couple, I felt bad. And she was in 2018. She was like the caretaker,
Oh,
the
okay.
cemetery caretaker.
I just
Yeah.
remember the husband from Rescue Me. He was the crazy uncle.
Oh, yeah. All right. So my number 11 was Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, all right. We differ right there.
Yep.
So, what's your number 10?
Number 10 is Halloween Resurrection.
Okay.
And it sucks because there are moments of this movie that I liked.
Like what?
I didn't mind Busta Rhymes. I like Busta Rhymes. I know the writing was terrible, but the intro scene was pretty cool. How you got the guy obsessed with serial killers in the beginning, and he's talking
Yeah.
about like Bundy, this and that.
How cool would that be? Like to set it in an asylum.
I know.
Yeah.
That's where I thought it was going.
Yeah.
So, like, I liked the intro. I didn't hate Busta Rhymes. I wasn't a big fan of much of the cast, and the writing was pure dog shit with stupid comedy here and there.
Yeah.
But I think Halloween Kills and Halloween 2 Rob Zombie just pissed me off more because it could have been so much greater.
Okay. All right. So my number 10 was Rob Zombie's Halloween. So
Oh,
while I
wow.
I like the fact that like the second part of the movie was basically almost shot for shot the original,
Okay.
but it took us a half an hour to get there. The biggest mystique about Michael is you don't know why he's evil. Rob Zombie had to put that Rob Zombie twist on it, And I never understood was the I can't think of the actor's name, but who played like the father or the stepfather.
Yeah.
Was he the biological father or
No,
the step? Okay,
he was
because I'm
stepfather.
like he was giving me some creeper vibes, like
No,
hitting
definitely.
on the
He's probably
daughter.
like the fifth stepfather.
Oh.
So I'll get into that when I get to that one.
Yeah. So like while I loved Tyler Mane as Michael, he was great. I mean, like your three Michaels in my opinion, well, four: Nick Castle, Dick Warlock, James Hugh Courtney, and Tyler Mane. Okay. I mean, there's been a plethora of guys that played Michael, but they're my top four.
Yeah.
I just didn't like the backstory. I did like the interaction with Loomis and young Michael.
Yeah.
I didn't like how they made Loomis like he was in it for the fame. And really they did that in a lot in part two. Like that's not the Dr. Loomis character,
Yeah.
So that's why I don't like Rob Zombie's Michael Myers. I still own it though because I'm a completist, but it's not on high on my list.
But you're also more of a purist than I am.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. All right. So what number are we on?
10?
No, we're on 9.
No, 9. I'm sorry.
Mine was Halloween 3.
Really? Wow.
I've only, and I'll be honest with you, I just threw this in here. I've only seen it once years ago, and I've been meaning to rewatch it, but I just remember not being a huge fan of it,
and
it really didn't fit what we were doing, so I just stuck it in there.
Yeah, but like for the longest time, I did not like Halloween Part 3, but that was Carpenter's original idea.
Yeah.
Like he wanted to do anthology. So I mean, if you take out the Halloween and just call it Season of Witch, it's a great standalone film. And if you go back and rewatch it, you might get like a soft spot for it, like kind of like how Friday the 13th Part 5.
Okay.
So I'll get more into it when I rank mine. All right. My number 9 is Halloween 5, Revenge of Michael Myers. So this movie is riddled with continuity errors from the get-go. Um, they rushed to make this, like it came out literally a year after part 4.
Yep.
So even when they started, the script wasn't finished. The opening was actually with a different character, it wasn't an old hermit. It was actually this guy called Dr. Death, who kind of like resurrects Michael. And yeah, so kind of like a Frankenstein-esque, if you will.
I gotcha.
Where are all the bullet holes in his clothing? Why does his mask look like it was stretched? Um, they killed off a fan favorite with Rachel.
Yep.
A lot of people didn't like Tina, but I did,
I when you
especially when she was wearing that costume.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, come on. I
Yeah.
I didn't at first, but after the years of rewatching it, Tina doesn't bother me anymore. It's the two
Right.
idiot cops, and why
Well,
are they playing
yeah.
that sound effect?
That don't
Like,
doink,
yeah, it
doink,
wasn't
doink,
fucking
doink.
needed.
But if you think about it, they kind of in Halloween 2018, they kind of had that the two
Yeah,
cops, but not as bad. They made the Myers house look like a mansion.
yeah,
Yeah. And then you have the man in black, and so they arrest Michael, and he's sitting in a cell fiddling with the chains, but his mask is still on.
yeah.
And then the greatest line of the whole movie, Uncle Boogeyman. Yeah.
Poor
So
Danielle Harris.
yeah. Um I kind of like the look of Michael better than part 4, but he went from Tom Morga size to like a big buff guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm actually reading a really good book. I'm halfway through. It's called Taking Shape. And it's like from script to screen, and it dives into all the movies up to 2018, sort of like the Crystal Lake Memory book for Friday 13th, but it doesn't really have interviews with the cast, more so the directors, the writers, if someone wrote a novel. So I'm just started part 6. It's a really good book. I do recommend it. There is a sequel to this book, which I'm going to order next, called Taking Shape 2,
Hmm.
and it's about all the sequels we never got. So
Ah.
that should be interesting. All right, so that was you did 9, so now we're on to number 8.
Yep. My number 8 is Halloween 5.
Oh, okay. All right. What was your gripe about it?
The cast.
Okay.
The boyfriend, the two boyfriends.
Spitz and Mike, yeah.
Yeah, and then the blonde who she hangs out with. And
And I got to meet the blonde um about back in, I don't know, 6 7 months ago. Let down.
uh
She's very interactive on social media, like she talks to the fans,
yeah,
but in person, like I felt like they didn't want to be there.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So what's your number 8, sir?
My number 8, Halloween H2O.
Okay.
So this came out the summer after I graduated high school, August 1998, and I was excited for this. 20 years later, like, yeah, you're bringing back Jamie Lee Curtis. It retconned everything after part 2. You had Kevin Williamson, who was hot on the TV show Dawson's Creek. He wrote I Know You Did Last Summer. I felt like the script was okay. I did not like Josh Hartnett as the son. I wanted to give him a brush to give him the brush his hair. I like Michelle Williams, though. LL Cool J was great in his role.
Yeah.
I did The mask was horrible, and because I think they didn't finish making it, and then they like CGI'd it
Yeah.
halfway through. And then the movies of that era, like late 90s, early 2000, all the posters look the same, the floating heads.
Yep.
Yeah.
Scream,
Yep.
H2O, Last Summer. Yeah.
I like that Janet Leigh was in it, Jamie's mom.
Yep.
And she did the line, "We're all entitled to one good scare," and she goes into her psycho car.
Yep.
The fact that it was at a school and like they were like locked in was cool. My favorite scene in the film is, well, we see Nurse Marion as like the intro. She was the nurse that was with Dr. Loomis in part one and
Oh, yeah, yeah,
two.
yeah, yeah. That was a cool
Yeah.
intro.
Yeah, you had a young Joseph Gordon-Levitt in it. And then his friend who was like the sidekick in every 90s teen
Yeah.
comedy.
Uh-huh.
My favorite scene in the film though was when Michael came down from like the rafters holding onto the pipe.
Yeah.
That was a cool shot.
That was a cool shot.
I liked when she chopped his head off, but then it was resurrection followed. Like, how the hell are you gonna get a sequel? Well, somehow he put a cop's body in his costume.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, and it had a good soundtrack too.
Yeah, it did. And most
Yeah.
the late 90s, early 2000s
You
did.
had a lot of Creed in there.
Yeah. I actually just watched The Faculty when I was on the plane.
Great soundtrack.
Oh, totally. It was
Yeah.
it was I watched it once when it came out and I completely forgot about it.
And
And
that was a cast I liked.
I didn't hate it. I really
Yeah.
liked that movie. And
Yeah.
Also Disturbing Behavior I watched. Which
That's a cult classic.
that
Yeah.
that soundtrack pumps. Like
Mhm.
I'm not a big fan of Katie Holmes, but the dude that got
She was
turned.
hot in it.
Oh yeah, she was.
Nick. I know you're talking
Nick,
to
yeah.
like the loser, like loner type guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like him in everything he's in, really.
Yeah, he was just in something that I watched, and I forget what it was. He played like a home intruder or something, and
Okay.
he was. I'm not sure if it was. I think it was a TV show, and I'm like, no, it was a movie, and I'm like, damn, he was good. Like he got clean and sober. He looks better, and he just worked. He was great in that role.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a good actor. Didn't like him in Terminator 3 though.
Nah. He's not a Connor.
No.
No, but it was funny that we talked about this because I just watched those two on the plane for different ideas.
Yeah.
All right, so H2O was your number 8.
8, yeah.
All right, so we're moving on to number 7.
Did you do your 8?
Yeah, it was Halloween 5.
Okay. You're number 7.
Number 7 is H2O.
Oh, look at that. Okay. All right.
The heads with Michael Myers behind it.
Yeah.
But I did really like that black-haired chick, the friend.
Yeah,
She was witty and funny. I liked her.
She was hot at the time because I believe, was she in Nash Bridges? Like she played Don Johnson's daughter
Okay.
in Nash Bridges, but she was like hot for. She was also in gosh, what was she in? The movie with Freddie Prinze Jr. where he turns the girl into.
Oh yeah.
I think she played his girlfriend.
Okay.
So she was hot for a minute. Anything else you didn't like about H2O?
You pretty much covered most of it. Josh Hartnett's fucking hair. That's about it. Oh, Jamie Lee Curtis's hair. Ugh.
Well, she's been rocking that hairstyle.
I
since
hate
then.
short hair.
Yeah, but not everyone can pull it off, but she can pull it off.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
All right, so you're number 7, sir.
Halloween Kills.
Halloween Kills.
So we pretty much covered it. I don't think there's really much more we can say about it. It was just a big letdown after 2018.
Yep.
All right, so you're number 6.
Number 6 is Halloween 2018.
Okay. All right. So we're at the halfway mark. So what did you like and what didn't you like?
I liked the hardcoreness of Michael.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the killing. I love her daughter in it.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say I was a huge fan of the granddaughter or the other kids.
Yeah, the granddaughter. Well, who really got on my nerves was, well, the boyfriend and then like the friend of them, who
Yeah.
got like impaled on the fence post.
Yeah,
Yeah,
her blonde friend was good though, because she had
yeah.
that scene with the babysitter, and that
What's his name? Julius. He was
Julius,
great. He
those two
was
together
great.
were awesome. I love
Now,
that
see,
scene.
if they were to do a Halloween 40 years later after 2018, you get Kevin Hart in that role.
Michael, what the fuck?
He
He
was
was
great.
funny.
And she put up a fight. Unfortunately, she
Yep.
didn't make it out. But yeah, that was a great scene when she kept like trying to close the door and then he's just there. Like that was just,
Because
I want to
I wasn't expecting him to be there because it's never
no.
there, but
Yeah.
they did it, so I was happy with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
For me, it was the cast. I had a hard time with. I didn't like the new Doctor Loomis.
No,
Um,
that was,
there
if
was no need
anything,
for it.
no. It was like more, I think it was more of a filler.
Yeah,
But like when he put on the mask,
yeah,
that was just awful.
yeah.
Yeah. Dr.
Or
Cars
Zerzy or something like
something
that.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you're the new Dr. Loomis.
yeah.
So all right, so that was your six. My six, and this is not coincidental, Halloween 6, Curse of Michael Myers.
Okay.
So I remember seeing the trailer when they used to do the Horror Hall of Fame. Do you remember
Oh,
that?
I remember that.
Yeah. So I remember seeing the trailer and I'm like, oh, I gotta watch this. So I was a freshman in high school and I was on a date with a very cute girl and we saw this and I loved it. It kind of, I mean, because we're talking, this is like we're in the Thorn
Hmm.
saga, so it got, it was a reprieve from part 5. I didn't like the fact that Danielle Harris was not in it,
Yeah.
because they couldn't meet her contractual obligations as far as how much she wanted to get paid, so they recasted her. Paul Rudd was great as Tommy Doyle, and I wish he came back for 2018.
Me too.
He played like a kid with PTSD to the extreme,
Yep.
especially when he is beating the shit out of Michael at the end and he takes a second just to take it all in. And he does like this twitch of the face and then just goes at it again.
Yep.
I didn't care for the son too much. The girl's son.
Okay. Yeah.
The father was a dickhead though.
Yes, he was. Yes, he
And
was.
then have you seen the producer's cut?
No, I might have.
Yeah, it's far different from the original, and I have to say it's a lot better.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I have the whole thing collection, so I might have the producer's cut. I'll have
Well,
to
no,
check that
I
out.
don't. The producer's cut wasn't the collection that came out like maybe 5 or so years ago. That one,
Yeah.
yeah, the producer's cut wasn't in that.
Okay.
You had to buy it separate. But for the longest time, the only way you could get it was like bootleg at a monster like mania convention or something
Yeah.
or on eBay. So for the longest time, I had the producer's cut on VHS. So, all right.
You just brought back. I was just talking to Terry about the Horror Hall of Fame. It
Yeah.
was late nights, usually on Halloween,
Mm-hmm.
and Robert Englund hosted one year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know Kane Hodder did a couple things on it, and then it was on Sci-Fi Channel when Sci-Fi was
Yeah.
really young.
When sci-fi was good
Yeah, yeah. I
and it was
remember that.
spelled normal, not like FYY, whatever.
Yep. All right, so what number are we going to?
5.
5 for me. That's Halloween 4.
Okay. All right. We're kind of close on this one too.
Yeah, I
So
was.
what did you love about it?
All right, let me think about this one for a minute. Daniel Harris was fantastic in this.
Mm-hmm.
I love the sister. I liked how they made her the adopted daughter. I mean, the adopted niece.
Mm-hmm.
Grady was a cool character.
Yeah, Sasha Mitchell.
His dad was pretty cool in it as the chief.
Oh no, that wasn't his dad.
Oh, the
That
girl's
was
dad.
the
The girl's
pusty
dad.
blonde.
Yeah,
Cops do it by the book.
cops do it by the book. Yeah, that wasn't a bad scene either.
No, I wish we got a little bit more though.
Yeah, but I like the cast in it.
Yeah, the cast was really
The
good.
kills were it was intense at the end with the roof chase and everything like that.
That was, well, yeah, the roof chase when they're on the truck.
Yep.
You know, uh my only gripe with this film is the mask. It looked like a Party City mask.
Yeah.
Yeah. A great follow-up to part two. I love the opening when they're like they say like let's go or something, and it has like that new synthesizer
Yeah. Yeah.
Halloween theme. And then he, goes in for the kill.
Even
Um
the start of that movie, because that's where Loomis
it's
tracks him,
so
right?
Yeah, well, the intro is not a normal Halloween intro. It's just like a farmhouse, and it's like just different shots of the farm and the wind blowing, very eerie and ominous. And then it goes to the hospital,
Yeah.
and then we meet Loomis at the accident,
Yeah. Yep.
and yeah,
Then he
and
tracks
it's
him to the gas station, and then
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that was really cool, and Abraham Lincoln's forever in a Halloween movie. But yeah, like you said, that's when I was first introduced to Danielle Harris, and she was my first Hollywood crush. And not being a creeper, we're only 2 years apart, so I can say that.
Yeah.
So, and then from there, I was just a fan of hers, and that was like her big breakout. Those two films, and then she did like The Last Boy Scout with Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans.
Yeah, she did a lot
So
after that.
she
Yep.
did Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead,
She was funny as hell in
Roseanne.
that movie.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, and then like when they were locked in the sheriff's house, like he made it like inescapable. So they were all trapped in there. So that was really tense. Like when Grady's like, it never fails. The gun always jams.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted Grady to live a little longer.
Yeah, I liked him in the movie.
Yeah, but he failed the rules, and
Yep.
that's why he died.
Exactly.
But Rachel was a great like final girl, that protective person. The only thing I didn't care for was the ending, you
Yeah.
know. I just didn't care for that. And in the original script, she ended up, well, we thought she killed the mom,
Yeah.
and I think that's how the script was supposed to be. And that was another thing I'm sorry, I forgot to mention for part five. How the fuck did she become like a psychic person? You know?
Yeah, that was a little weird.
Yeah. But let's get back to part five real quick. So it's fresh in my mind because I just got done reading this chapter. So her friend Billy, who was in the hospital with
Yeah.
her, he wasn't supposed to be in the hospital. He was someone that she went to school with, and he would visit her. Well, he was like a BMX rider. So the script called for like when Michael was chasing Jamie, he comes out of nowhere and does like a sick trick on the bike and knocks Michael down. I was like, thank God they took that out of script. The
Yeah.
only reason they took it out of script was because the kid couldn't ride the bike the way they wanted him to. So
Wow.
so he went from
Good job, kid.
he went from a BMX champion to a stuttering kid that talks big woman.
Big
So
woman.
all right, so that was number six, right?
Number 5.
Okay, so you did your five, now it's mine.
Yep.
Halloween 3. So, like I said, it took me a long time to appreciate this, and if you watch it just for what it has every feel of a John Carpenter movie. Um, so you have this evil toy maker from Ireland that's using like part of the Stonehenge to kill kids.
Yeah.
It was a ritual, to get power. And I mean, you don't people always like killing kids on screen is like so taboo,
Yep.
but the kid gets killed and snakes and bugs are coming out of his head. And you have Tom Atkins, the coolest like 70s, 80 actor. My friend Dave Brown and I were just talking about this the other day. Like he's in the 80s with the 70s porn stash. I mean, Tom Atkins was like a slick, suave guy, could get any girl he wanted to, and he does. In this movie, he's cheating on his wife, who actually was Annie in part one.
Okay.
So yeah. So and it had the like Invasion of the Body Snatchers ending where we thought we got rid of everything, but there's still like one more. There's actually a fan film coming out called The Third Channel. because it was the third channel that was still playing at the end, where he's like, "Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!" So it's a follow up to this one. I'm hoping it comes out soon. I was a backer for it. It's been so long, I forget what the only thing I remember that I got was the soundtrack so far,
Okay.
which is really good. So, like I said, go in it just Season of the Witch, and you might like it.
All right. Yeah,
All
it's
right.
been 20 something years since I've seen it.
Okay.
Because I get in that Michael Myers mood on Halloween. I'm
Yeah.
just like, yeah, we'll watch it again later.
Right. Right. Yeah.
All right. So number 4 for me,
Hmm.
Halloween 6.
Okay. What did you like about it?
Paul Rudd, Paul Rudd,
Hmm.
Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like the daughter. I like the friends of the daughter. I like the idiot brother. I like the
That's you got the
yeah.
Beavis and
I
Butthead.
like the stupid Howard Stern wannabe.
Oh god, that guy got on my nerves.
Oh,
Barry.
exactly. That's why it was
Yeah.
so cool. And then
Yeah.
the creepiest shit ever was, it's raining red.
Oh
It's
yeah.
raining red. I'm like,
And then he falls out of the tree. Well, you know what was also cool was like the underground like tunnels
yes.
to the Smith Grove. Like
Yep.
that was really cool. And do you know who Sean Clark is?
On Clark. Friday the 13th guy? Or no?
No, 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 no. So Sean Clark is actually a booking agent for celebrities.
Okay.
Um, but I believe he runs the horror horror ground convention. What's it called? Horror Hound.
Oh,
He
okay, yeah.
runs that. But when like Shout Factory does the re-release of like he's a big John Carpenter fan, so he does a lot of filming locations. So I'll send you his YouTube page because he's got a couple of different types of channels on his YouTube page. But the Hallowed Horror Grounds is where he goes to the filming locations. So he did a part 6 and he went to the tunnels.
Oh, that's pretty
So it was
awesome.
really cool. Yeah, Sean Clark's a really cool guy. He's usually at the Monster Mania. Maybe NJ is one of his talents there.
Okay.
So yeah.
With 6, I didn't hate the Thorn idea.
Yeah,
It's a different kind of look at it. Like, it explains a lot.
well, yeah, because part 5 left us with so many questions. Who is the Man in Black? Why
Yep.
does he have like a triangle P on his wrist? So yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just really liked it. It was an entertaining movie. Michael gets the shit kicked out of him. They're stealing babies. Loomis is good and funny
There's
in it.
incest because I believe he was the one that had sex with Jamie. I don't know.
They kind of, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. It had it all. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
All
so
right.
you're
So
number 4, sir.
Halloween 4 again. No coincidence. A great follow up to part 2. We talked about it in your review in your selection, so I don't have to go any further in that. All right, so you're part 3.
My part 3 is Halloween 1978, the original.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So why didn't you give it to number 1? Too cliche?
No. Growing up in the 80s, Halloween was probably one of the boring ones. Because you gotta think. When I'm watching these movies, I came up with like Freddy's Dead, Dream Warriors, Friday 4. These are all fully action-packed movies, and then Halloween's a little bit of a slow burn till the end.
Yeah.
So and I like the cast. I love the movie. I'll always watch the movie when it's on, but I like 2 other movies more.
Okay. So my number 3 was actually Halloween 2018.
Okay.
It
Wow.
was, yeah, it was to me like when I saw it in when when he did the bathroom kills like and towards like the beginning, and he sees the mask in the trunk and he slowly like shuts the trunk, and you had the music and then him putting it on like that just gave me chills. And I remember I saw that on my birthday, and I was like, I said to Irene, if they never make another one, I will die happy because this is the movie I've been wanting to see since like the original and part 2.
Okay.
And it sucks that they retcon part 2 because part 2 is such a great sequel as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved everyone. I loved the dad,
Oh
like
yeah, he was funny. You felt bad when the dad got it.
yes, I felt bad, but he was the comedic relief,
Yeah.
and but you did feel bad. And like I always wondered, the daughter, like, was she just put in a front on the whole time, because she was so against her mom and how she was raised, but then like at the end she's like, no, 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 gotcha, and like
Well, I think
that's
the daughter kind of hated how she was raised, but she was trained for it. So I think
yeah,
that's where it went into play. And that's Judy
yeah.
Greer, right? I think her name is.
Yes, Judy Greer.
She's awesome.
Yeah, and she needs to be in more,
She does.
Yeah.
I think horror
And
fits her.
yeah, yeah. Like she had a bit role in the first Jurassic Park or Jurassic World, and that was it.
Oh, the
And then
mom, yeah.
yeah, so it sucks that she's not going to be in Halloween Ends, because I really like her character.
Yep.
It should have been the daughter, and I mean, in my world, Jamie should have died, or Laura. I keep saying Jamie. Laurie should have died in part two, or Halloween Kills. No, Kills, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it should have been the daughter and the granddaughter closing the chapter out.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But
They
yeah.
weren't going to get rid of the name though.
No, no.
All
All right.
right. So number 2. And this actually these two swap for number 2 and number 1. My second favorite Halloween is Halloween 2.
We're tied. That's the one. They've got that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Such a great follow-up.
It
I
is.
mean, what can you not say good things about it? Like, I like the fact that it's at but what hospital is that desolate?
Did you
Like,
notice in Stranger Things they use the same logo for
no.
Hawkins Medical?
Oh shit.
It's the same
Oh,
logo.
oh wow. Nice.
I caught that.
Um, so yeah, it takes I mean the one little continuity error, like when it starts at the end of the first one, if you count the shots, he shot him more than 6 times. So, and then like when the guy's like, what is this? Some kind of trick? Or no, was what did he say? I've been trick or treated to death tonight. And he's
Yeah.
like, you don't know what death is. And then we had that just a new take on the opening. Um, Michael like just walking the town of Haddonfield, and he hears about them being at the hospital. The kills were brutal. I
Uh-huh.
mean, it was a step up from the original because they went gore in this
Oh
one.
yeah.
Yeah. What was your favorite kill in this one?
It's a tie between the hot tub
Okay.
and the nurse just rising up. Like she's I love that
Yeah,
scene.
yeah. That's actually, those were my two favorite as well, too.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I would probably have to say the hot tub, because as he's bringing her up, you just see the skin come
Oh
off,
yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then of course, like the end when she shoots him in the eyes,
Oh
and I'm
yeah.
like, yeah. And then like they actually, I think there was actually a different ending. I think they put Michael in the back of the ambulance with her.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think the Lance Guest character, I think in the original script, he didn't live. But obviously, he's the brother. Was he? No. Ben Tramer was the guy that she liked,
Yeah.
but he got unfortunately killed.
Yeah, because they thought it was Michael.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then in the TV version, we actually see a young Dana Carvey. He plays, I think, a coroner or something, very bit role, but
Okay.
you only see it like in the edited TV version. Um, all right, so that was your number two, as mine as well.
All
So
right.
now I lost track, so I don't even know what your number one is.
My number 1 is gonna piss off a lot of people, but I don't give a shit. I fucking
Oh
love
no, no, no.
Rob Zombie's
I
Halloween.
mean, where's that X button at? Why do you love this dumpster fire?
I'm a backstory guy.
Okay.
So the whole upbringing, the way he shot the 70s, the way that what's the little kid's name? It was a whole or a Swedish name. Forget
Oh,
his
I
name.
can't stand him.
Why?
He's do you follow? I mean, I don't not follow, but do you see his Instagram content?
No.
Oh my, he's up there with Aaron Carter, like looking all thugged out and
Uh,
trying to be a rapper. Like he was trying to sell his costume, his clown costume, for $100,000.
I don't care about that. I liked him in this movie.
Ugh, Daig
Yeah,
something.
that Daig or something.
Yeah.
Because then he was in
Ugh.
that Will Smith movie with the weird
Oh,
fucking
Hancock.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the kills were brutal. The upbringing was awesome. The soundtrack was awesome. I loved all the kills. I loved Lori. I loved Danielle Harris coming back. I loved Chucky as Chief Bracken. I
Yeah.
loved um
And
it's such a fucking
in some
intense.
scenes you could hear Charles Lee Ray in his voice.
Yes, you can. Like when he's making jokes, you hear the beginning as
Yeah.
Chucky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
But let's give a special shout out to Scott Taylor Compton.
Oh yes.
Have you had a chance to meet her?
No.
I thought she was tall. She's like a little shorter than me.
Okay.
And she had like, 2-inch heels on.
Yeah.
I follow her on Instagram. Beautiful woman. Beautiful woman.
Yeah. And like I loved all the cast. She Daniel Harris was awesome in it, playing the little.
The 40-year-old that has like the Beverly Hills 90210 phobia
Yeah. Yeah.
condition.
And the blonde that replaced Totally. I forget her name.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, they did it. He did a good job casting the young actresses to play the
Yeah.
1978 counterparts. Like
And
they were really
I
good.
loved the adopted parents.
Mm-hmm.
They
Steve
had
Wallace was great.
they
Yeah,
had a nice back and forth.
yeah.
Um, I I liked Loomis in this one. I didn't like him in H2O or Halloween
I
2.
didn't. I liked the look. I just didn't like he didn't have the Donald Pleasance vibe. Like
You can't
not.
replicate Donald
I'm not.
Pleasance
I'm
though.
not saying. Let me rephrase that. The motivation.
Okay.
It wasn't written the same as how it was for Donald Pleasance in the original.
Yeah.
Like the Avenging Doctor. Like he was a glory hound, basically.
Yeah. And
You
but
know?
if you were to do that today, it's kind of what he would probably be.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Then
But
you had the vicious kill of the sister, who was another great actress.
but do you think he should have killed Danny Trejo?
Yeah,
Remember he was yeah,
because he's too
I
far.
felt
He's too far gone.
Mikey, I was always good to
I
you,
know.
Mikey.
He was too far gone, so it
Yeah.
was expected. If he didn't, I would have had questions. But I mean, there were so many good people in that movie. The sister killing was intense. The sound playing in the back and the
Even when he
camera
killed the
shakes.
school bully.
Oh yeah, that was fucking
Yeah.
hardcore.
Yeah.
When she killed the sister's boyfriend, that was horrible.
Hmm.
And then Mikey comes back.
He kills what was the guy's name? Bear or Big Willie or in the rest stop at the truck stop.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Grizzly, Big Joe Grizzly. Yeah,
But I mean, and hey, people say what they want about Sherry Moon Zombie. I think she was a great mom trying her best.
she was good in that role. Like I liked her in Devil's Rejects. I liked her in House of Thousand Corpses. I liked her in this. I was Lords of Salem was a snooze
It
fest.
was, but she was good in
Um,
it. It was just a terrible movie. Because
31, I fell asleep within the first 5 minutes. That's all she's been in, really.
yeah,
She should stick to being like the cute girl in his music videos.
you got to
So,
watch 31 again. Try and stay
okay.
awake. The ending's
All
pretty
right.
cool.
Okay.
It's got Texas Chainsaw vibes.
Oh, nice. All right.
I like 31.
Okay. So, yeah, I didn't want Michael. I like the feel of like the whatever it was, late 70s, early
Yeah.
80s. He got that down. Like I just didn't care for the family dynamic. Like Michael's evil. So you're telling me what made him go nuts was his abusive stepfather and his bitchy sister?
Well, if you look at serial killers, the house is where it starts. The
Yeah.
abuse,
Yeah.
I mean, all of them. So he
But
took from
but he
that
loved he loved Pooh. Is that what they called her?
the
Pooh or
the
Boo?
yeah, Boo or
Yeah.
something.
But yeah, but why did he want to kill her?
I don't
If he
know.
loved her so much,
Who
you
knows?
know? But you know what really gets me every time I watch it though? When the mom kills herself and then baby starts crying.
Yes,
That
it's a
always,
tough
always
scene.
gets me. It
It's a
is,
tough
yeah.
scene, and
Yeah.
that's what I love about it. It's more dark than the original. I have no problems with the original. Everyone loves the
Well,
original.
if we didn't have Halloween, we wouldn't have Friday the 13th and
Yep.
every single slasher that followed after it. And that's why Halloween 78 is my number
There
one.
we go.
Yeah, it's not to be cliche, but if you know what it took to make this low budget film, and then it was the highest grossing independent horror movie for 21 years,
Yeah.
and I mean, you have Deborah Hill, who's from Haddonfield, New Jersey. Yeah. Um,
And for you out
she
there listening that don't know Haddonfield, New Jersey, it looks a lot like where they were
yeah,
fucking. It
yeah,
looks
it
just like it.
does. So she gave Pasadena, New Jersey feel to it.
Yeah,
Although you can in some scenes you can see palm
you
trees in the
can.
back.
And I know it was hard for them to get leaves. I read
Yeah, so they literally had to rake them up and move them to
redo it. Yeah.
yeah. But if you go back and look at it, there's not one shot of blood in the film.
Yep.
John Carpenter's score was great. It you had Jamie Lee Curtis, you had PJ Souls, who at the time was engaged to Dennis Quaid. So
Okay.
yeah, great cast. Even though we weren't of that generation, you could relate to them.
Yeah.
And to me, in a horror movie, or in any movie, you need to relate to someone.
Yep.
Today's horror movies, you could care less who gets killed because
They
you don't
they
care about
throw
them.
character development right out the fucking window.
Yeah, yeah. So you know, um, so Halloween is in my top three favorite horror movies. And I don't go by franchise. I mean, two of them are franchise movies. Well, the third one is like Exorcist, but
Okay.
I don't think The Exorcist really is a franchise because
It was too weird of a franchise.
yeah,
And the
yeah.
best ones were 1 and three's not even really connected to.
The only thing that's connected is Father Damien.
Yeah.
Father Damien and the cop.
Yeah.
That's really it,
Yeah.
because but that was Dahmer's favorite show.
Have you finished that yet, Dahmer?
No, I
No.
got to. But I saw another Facebook post of a friend of mine this time. Usually when I'm reading these posts, it's just people screenshotting it. But like, I was watching Dahmer and it was so disgusting.
Of course it's fucking disgusting, you idiot. This happened.
Yeah, I'm just like, are people like that dense? Like, do they not like? I mean, I know it happened 30 some years ago, but these are people our age
Yeah,
complaining about it.
I
And
know.
if you're our age, you know who Jeffrey Dahmer was and what he did,
Yeah.
you know? So now we were actually talking about it in my training class yesterday. Do you think because of all the technological advances, it's hard to be a serial killer in today's day and age?
Yes and no, but I think it's more of a reach out for mental health.
Yeah.
I think people are noticing shit earlier, and then schools and people are helping out with that. Because if you go down the list, there's a ton of misread flags by police and
Yeah.
officials all the way
Yeah.
down. I
Yeah.
mean, they had Bundy before he started his spree. They had Gacy, but they waited
Mm-hmm.
on it. Like
Yeah.
Gacy was arrested for statutory rape long before he started his murdering spree.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think the different laws, the different times, and yeah, I think the tech that there's constantly a camera somewhere makes it
Yeah.
hard. But there still could be active. But I
So
don't think.
did you see that they are having like the Dahmer tapes coming out on
Yep.
Netflix? Like yeah, that comes
Uh,
out like October 9th, I think, or
yeah,
something like
very
that.
soon.
Who do you think the next serial killer docu series should be, and
Do you mean like
who like a Dahmer type movie
okay.
or show?
Um, Ramirez.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the intensity of Ramirez.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of did him, portrayed him pretty good in American Horror Story.
Very good.
And
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And just real nasty looking too, like dirty and smelly.
yeah.
Um, so if you could pick an A-list actor, who would you pick for
For
him?
Ramirez,
A-list, or maybe just someone up and coming that you've seen.
wow, that's a tough one.
I have someone in mind.
Who you got?
The kid from Cobra Kai.
I haven't
Uh,
watched that.
oh, really?
Yeah.
He played. I'll send you a picture. He's like, he is Johnny's son's like nemesis, but he's a good guy.
Okay.
But he could have the look of a young Richard Ramirez.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone. That's tough because he's such
You know who they would do it? They did it like in the late '90s, early 2000s. The guy that played Fez in that '70s show.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah.
Yeah. Or they did it like in the late '80s, Lou Diamond Phillips.
But yeah, Ramirez. Yeah, I think that should be the next one.
Yeah, there really hasn't been. I mean, he's kind of like the redheaded stepchild of the serial killer.
Well, the reason why is because this country still goes through satanic panic. It's always there. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever fucking seen. And
Right.
he was all about Satan. So I don't think
I
they'll
just
ever
love how
do
the
it.
community came together.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's a great ending to a horrible.
And they stomped the shit out of him.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And I mean, and like the fact that he's tied with the Cecil Hotel.
Yeah.
So
He lived there
yeah.
for a long, well, off and on for a while.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, Ramirez is interesting.
yeah. I'd like to see a not Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Like there was a Gacy movie. I think you told me about it. It came out like early 2000s. But and I'm not sure if I had the discussion with you, but like in the early 90s, Brian Dennehy, who played like the evil sheriff in the first Rambo movie,
Yeah.
he was in John Wayne Gacy movie. I think it was a miniseries like on ABC.
It was about the cops going after Gacy.
Yeah,
He played the lead detective.
I mean, because we've seen the Manson 1,000 times. You know, like
and Manson doesn't mystify me. I mean, cults bother the hell out of me because you know how fucking stupid you got to be to follow one of these guys.
Yeah.
So you know, I hate when people, but I don't mind when cult people get hurt because hello.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. But that's going to be a topic for another day.
Yeah. Yeah. Cults.
Yeah.
Because they're nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think for our next franchise, like top whatever, and that we should do Nightmare on Elm Street.
We could do that.
I'd be curious to hear your. How many were there?
8.
8.
Well,
so
7.5 if you count Freddy vs. Jason.
So yes, wow, and that's including the reboot too.
I don't count that.
Okay.
That doesn't get mentioned in this house.
So is that that'd probably be like your last one then, right?
I won't even put that fucking thing on the list.
Really?
You'll have 9 movies. I'll have 8 movies.
So you didn't like Jackie Earl Haley?
No, I hated that
I liked him.
entire movie.
The CG was bad.
It was terrible. There was like we were a lot more advanced for CG when that movie came out for that not to
the
look like that.
The dinosaurs look more real than the stuff in that movie.
Right. In 1993, you got T-Rex chomping on a car. 20 years later, Freddy's got holes in his face that are still fucking green because the green screen didn't work.
Right.
And then the stupid out-of-the-wall bullshit.
What if Rob Zombie was to make a Freddy Krueger movie?
Nah, he won't do it.
But if he did, would you be for it?
I'd give it a shot.
Yeah.
It depends on who's playing Freddy. That's all that matters.
Yeah. And I do like your pick for Evan Peters.
I'm telling you, I said that way before Dahmer came out. The kid can play the... I think of the character he played as H.H. Holmes in Hotel.
Yeah.
Kind of roundabouts of Freddy Krueger. Because like he's being funny but serious at the same time. So
that's a great story too. H.H. Holmes and his murder hotel.
Oh yeah.
And it's been on the back burner for so long, but I think Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio were supposed to make H.H. Holmes movie.
They are.
but it's been years since they've been talking about it.
About 3 years now, yeah.
By this time, Martin Scorsese is gonna be in a nursing home.
Oh God,
You
don't
know?
say that. We need him. I will wire him to a battery. I need Scorsese so much.
All
Oh
right.
man. All right, so that's been our Halloween episode.
Yes.
Coming up on Halloween. We gotta.
Please.
What's up?
I was gonna say, if you agree with us or disagree, please comment in the YouTube page or Facebook
feel free
page.
to tear me apart because I don't give a shit. And anyone that's known me for a while has known that's my favorite Halloween movie. I just had this conversation with Nightmare Christie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she people always fucking hate on it, but you know what? You can be a hater, be a hater.
Right.
But it's not like I hate the original. I love the original. I'll always
Right.
watch it when it's on. But
It's just a slow burn for you.
It is. It's a little slow.
Yeah.
And I'm not a huge fan of who played Annie. Annie got on my nerves a little bit.
Yeah, no, Lindsay.
Yeah.
Lester's barking at me and getting on my nerves.
But we all know chicks like that, so it still fits today. And that's what's cool about that movie is, other than the clothes, it's people we know today. Oh, right. I like Big Tramer. It's all the same bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, you ready to wrap this up?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. It was a great episode.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys subscribe. Also down here, check out J3 Costumes. The link's on our website. Halloween Haunts the podcast.
Great podcast.
Oh, amazing guy.
Two great reviewers.
I'm telling you. And then we have SouthJerseyJason.com. Check it out. It does a lot of stuff for the community and organizations and charity. So we have that down here. We'll throw all those links in the bio. And I'm going to get ready for another 3 haunt weekend.
I don't know how you do it.
Dude, I'm ready now. I'm in shape
now. I know. After all those walking down them steps.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting all those steps, brother.
Yeah.
We visited Hotel of Horror in the Poconos this weekend. Had a great time.
It was fun, yeah.
But it was a lot of steps.
Yeah, a lot of steps. But at least it was nice and cool in there.
Yes.
And it didn't smell like ass.
Could you imagine doing that at Field in that heat that we felt at Field of Screams?
Oh my gosh.
I imagine at that time of year it probably does feel like that because there's no air conditioners.
No, not at all.
All right, but we're dragging this on.
Yeah.
Guys, thanks for getting lost in the woods in this shitty little horror shed over here. We had a lot of fun. Come back next time. Make sure you like, subscribe, and we'll see you later.